We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
Hey, welcome to the Supernatural Hour. I am one of your hosts, Ravyn.
I'm Rogue.
This is Doc.
And Chad's here.
And as always, we're super excited that you are spending some time with us.
Coming from the Attic of Despair in beautiful downtown Cedar Hills.
It's kind of a sad name.
The Attic of Despair in beautiful downtown Cedar Hills. Got it.
Anyway, for some things that we've got going, we've got an upcoming Insiders investigation and dinner at the Rock Canyon Trailhead Park in Provo.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah, you can tell me anything.
I had the day wrong, and I panicked because I thought we forgot to order the chicken. And I was having about 300 heart attacks, thinking that I needed to order it today. And I thought, they're going to tell me, yeah. Anyway. When I realized that it wasn't tomorrow, I was extremely relieved.
And this investigation is for our insiders. And if you are able to become an insider before the 13th or 14th of August, you're invited. So go out and check our patron page for the insiders, and we can get you for this special insiders investigation.
And we'll have food that I won't have ordered in a panic 24 hours before. I'm so excited.
All right.
Sounds like we're having chicken.
Oh, it's so good. I had it at a family event, and I had to ask my uncle, I'm like, where did you get this? And it's amazing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great little event, a little dinner, and then a great investigation at Rock Canyon Trailhead. We've got some other investigations that we're putting together right now. Ravyn has been on the phone scheduling and working out the details. We've just got a few other details to put out, but be looking at our advancedparanormal.com upcoming events page, and we'll have things there soon.
We have our details. We just need to make sure they mesh with the venue's details. So I don't want to tell you a date yet, just in case it's no bueno with them. So
interesting.
But there's some fun venues.
What county are we headed to?
Salt Lake and Utah.
Ooh.
It's spooky season coming up quick, folks. I put together our podcast schedule through the end of November already.
I know. I was thinking, geez,
And
we're
we've
going to be doing
got-
Halloween podcasts in a few weeks.
So I'll throw out a teaser because it's August. We can talk about Halloween, right?
Let's do it.
So we are going to be, in the past, we've done for our kind of our Halloween episode, we've done, Halloween traditions and things, which is fun. But this time, we're stepping it up. We're going to do a Halloween kind of a 3-part series.
Oh.
So you can look forward to that. It'll be fun.
Sounds good. We were just given our new agenda, so it's new to us as well.
Well, it was new. I've only known about it for like the last 2 hours myself.
Okay.
So you're right
Surprise! 3-part series, guys.
I went to look at what we're recording, and I thought, holy cow, we're going to be out of our list here pretty soon.
Oh.
So
That means summer's almost over.
I'm excited for summer.
Kids are going back to school. Parents everywhere are elated.
It's the most wonderful time. Okay.
Pretty
I
much.
remember that. Okay.
Sorry, I hijacked business.
I think that's it. Is there anything else that I've missed?
No.
Okay, other than we've got...
Yeah, watch the website because we should have those details. By the time this is posted, we should have details and have those up on the website. So we just don't have them as we're recording.
Yeah, and as we talked a little bit ago about Patron and our Insiders event, we really appreciate our patrons. In fact, we got 2 more this week. We're really excited to have a couple of new patrons. We'll get a shout out to them when they give us the names they want to be known as.
But you guys know who you are.
Yeah, and we're really excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And not thank me, but thank you, new Patreons.
Absolutely.
Clarify that. All right. Well, we have been kind of busy, and we did have an event, and we've had a few investigations. So first, let's start with the Benson Grist Mill.
Yeah, we had some friends invite a few of us out, and so we just popped out there.
Tell them what the Benson Grist Mill is.
So Benson Grist Mill is an old grist mill.
Wow, that was pretty to the point.
You know, they
right?
like mill grist
Don't
and
you know?
stuff.
So if you go out there during the day, it's in
Out where?
Stansbury Park. I'm getting there. Be patient. Stansbury Park, Utah. If you go out during the day, it's really cool. It's an old grist mill that they've made into a museum. If you ghost hunt there at night, on the very first floor, there's like a headless mannequin that shows what they might have worn. Scares the crap out of me every time I go there. And they've got little log cabins that they've brought in from around different places to show what it was like and how they were. There's an old barn. There's an old school. It's pretty cool. I would like to go out there during the day. They take kids out there for field trips during the day. And
it's such a large venue that you really can't even research it all in one night.
No, I tried. I haven't, because I've been out. How many times have we been out there?
Probably 6 or 7
And
over the last 5 or 6 years.
And I still haven't investigated every building out there. And I tried. I wanted to immerse Chuck and Rogue into every experience that I'd ever had in like 3 hours. That didn't work.
There were some famous ghost investigators that have a TV show on Travel Channel that adventure in ghost stuff.
Yeah, but
Went to the Benson Grist Mill recently.
however, they didn't get the same. They didn't capture what we captured. So
We caught some cool stuff. And if you want to see a really cool video, was it Lindsay that got that?
it is. It was
It is a really cool video, and it is up on TikTok.
super
Hey-o.
cool.
I still need to get a TikTok account.
Oh my gosh, you are so behind.
I know. I'm like an old man.
So when I was doing some investigating of different venues that we could do, I went out to Eventbrite and did some searching, and actually there's going to be an investigation at the Benson Grist Mill. I think it's August. It might have already gone past August 2nd or 3rd, I think is what it was as I was looking at it.
Oh yeah, that one's gone.
Yeah, but it was $139. But this is from a group that people fly in from all over the country on, because they had investigations in Massachusetts and Oregon and different places. So apparently there's some really serious ghost hunters that will fly into different places and do those kinds of investigations.
And go to the Benson Grist Mill?
And the Benson Grist Mill
That's
was
what
on
I'm
their
saying.
list.
That was my point about these adventurers with ghost-related stuff.
Yeah.
They
That
came
it's
here
big
to the
stuff.
grist mill.
I like how you're not saying the name. Saying that. See, this is why you need to be on TikTok, because on TikTok they're always like, tell us you're a ghost hunter without telling us you're a ghost
see?
hunter. See?
There you go.
See, you're a pro.
All right, already. I need to get a TikTok account. I don't even have Instagram or Twitter.
Well, start
have-
out right on top, right up there with that
I
TikTok.
got Facebook, guys. That's it.
Oh, you're
You
so
should stick
old.
with that.
Anywho.
So then after that, we were lucky, and the very next night, we got to go out on an investigation with Advanced Paranormal, and we got to take our groups out to Wheeler Farm. So that one ended up to be pretty interesting.
So
For
tell
me-
us about Wheeler Farm.
Well, hang on. For me, Benson, it was a slow night at Benson.
Yeah, but we got footsteps. We got
We heard footsteps,
Right.
And it's interesting because I got pictures of Lindsay kind of looking down the hall, and then the video that we got was, well, then we saw red eyes, which we could not debunk. It wasn't the cars on the road, and it wasn't equipment turning off and on, reflecting on the windows, and then the video that we caught that you can see on TikTok happened in between the footsteps and the eyes.
right.
So that was pretty cool. Other
Yeah.
than that, though, it was usually it's a little more active, but it was
pretty quiet.
a
but-
slower night. But sometimes it happens. Ghost hunting's like fishing.
right. But we got the shadow figure, and
That was pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. You can see him bagging up his grist, his flour.
He's just at work. He's
He's just a working guy, and you can see him walking over and going to work and picking up his bag, and he's not bothered by us at all. He's just doing his thing. And
right. And we've
it's
said it
good.
100 times. When I die, if I'm a ghost, I'm not working.
right?
I'm gonna go
I
sit
hope
on the
I'm
beach.
Hell no.
I hope
I'll
I'm
go hang out
smart
on the
enough.
beach.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
And I'm gonna say, woohoo! Time to party.
yeah.
Don't go
Right.
to Doc's house.
Going out with
And getting
hang out
the
at
snack bar.
place. That's right.
I'm excited about the
we
snack
got a
bar.
snack fridge, which is now filled with basically beverages for mom and dad at this point.
Oh,
It doesn't say whose snack fridge it
Well,
was. Does it
Mom
have,
and dad's
does it
snack
have your
fridge.
kids' names on it? No.
I'm gonna get a label maker, and it's gonna be mine soon.
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Anyway.
All right. Well, so after Benson, then we went over to Wheeler. And Wheeler was a public event for us as Advanced Paranormal. So that's a little bit different because when we were at Grist Mill, we just got to go out there and hang out, go have some experiences. But Wheeler Farm, we got to take everybody else out for some experiences.
We actually, my group had, we had a gal named Victoria. So Wheeler Farm, I think, is that Cottonwood Creek that goes through it? Cottonwood Creek, Cottonwood River.
Little Cottonwood Creek, I believe.
Some body of water that moves. And there was a kind of a wider spot. And one of our regulars has purchased some dowsing rods that look like lightsabers. And I have a lot of covetous envy going on with these.
Lightsaber dowsing rods?
Yeah, they light up. And so you don't have to like shine your black light on the glow-in-the-dark tips, and then you can change them colors. So you can say move the pink one if this, move the blue one if that. And each one had 4 or 5 different colors.
I don't know.
There's
I didn't see
a
them.
lot of envy going on here.
There's some fancy
I
dowsing
missed
rods.
out on those dowsing rods.
A lot of envy. So, bless her heart, she was a good sport. She said, I wonder if you're standing in the water, because water is a conduit, right? Kind of gives the spirits more energy. And she said, I wonder if you're standing in the water, if you're a better conduit. And I said, well, go stand in the water. So she did. She took her shoes and socks off, and then she smelled bad the rest of it. And
This
I
is
didn't
not
smell her.
well-moving water.
She
No,
probably
it's-
listens to this, Ravyn. Come on.
I know. Well, Rogue was like, don't ever do stuff that Ravyn says.
That's exactly what I said to her. That was.
But she did. She went and stood in the water. And it's interesting because I was taking pictures of her. And in my camera on my phone is doing this weird thing, and it puts this little fuzzy thing in the top upper corner, so it's like ignore that. But it was showing, I took like 5 or 6 pictures of her, and the first few, there's a little reflection that's horizontal, just kind of down by her feet. But then, and I didn't know this at the time, but the very last picture I took, there's kind of a large white mist that comes up behind her and over her, almost like it's over her, moving the dowsing rods from behind. And at the time I took that picture, she was asking this gal that we had named Victoria where she was, and the answer, through yes/no questions, was behind her. The only problem with this picture is if you look at it, and I've posted it on our Facebook page on Advanced Paranormal Services, you have to look at it in the dark. Because I took it in the dark, so it's a dark photo. So if you try to look at it in the light, it's really hard to see. Turn the lights off, and you can see it much better.
Agreed. I've looked at that photo a couple of times, and it takes a little bit to see it, but it's there.
Yeah. Because when I was looking at it there, it was just very obvious. And then when I brought it home, I thought, I can't see that at all. You just turn the lights off, look at it in the dark.
I thought you were going to say Chad was in the background eating a sandwich or something. That was going to be the only problem with the photo.
No. It rained on us that night.
It did rain on us, and then when we were in the last phase of the investigation, we were, part of our team was off watching the SLS, and another part of our team was watching a very large Native American dressed in tribal walking behind us, and half of us didn't know if he was paranormal or just a homeless gentleman dressed in tribal gear.
And I think we determined he was real.
He was real.
Okay.
I was saying one of the village people or something.
I'm-
Just homeless. I don't know.
Right. It was, for us to be out there doing an investigation and that was what was walking by, I was like, okay. And I pulled the team. It was like, it must be time to go.
That's pretty weird.
It,
Just gonna say.
it kind of was weird. I'm going to admit it was weird.
Well, investigations, even though sometimes, like at Benson, it's a little quieter, spirit-wise, there's always something that makes it interesting.
You never know. You just never know.
A homeless guy in an Indian headdress.
Because that's what I want to do, walk around at 11 o'clock in my Indian headdress at Wheeler Farm, because, what else are you going to do at almost
He
midnight?
stopped and talked to some of the young ladies on the team, too. Of course he did, right? He didn't talk to any of the men or... Because when we popped up and was like, hey, did anybody else see this person? Oh, yeah, we talked to him. He was looking for someone. Oh, I bet he was.
Yeah, that's right. He's looking for that certain someone.
Yes, right. So outside of that, though, we did have one investigation, one residential. Was that just the other day?
Yeah, and you can tell that fall is coming because there's another one in the works.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Already?
what it is about summer, but residentials just fall a little flat.
Well, and then today, there's a lot of smoke, so people are staying home.
Oh, it's smoky here today. Ugh.
We have the worst air in the world. Yeah, that's a tongue twister.
Right
Today.
now?
Today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
today we
believe
do.
that. We beat out all of China?
Yes.
Isn't that impressive?
We're number one.
That's
We are
amazing.
number one today.
Gold medalist right here. Take
you
that,
don't know what we're
Tokyo
talking
Olympics.
about-
Take that.
If you don't know what we're talking about, that we got a low pressure coming through, and so it's blowing in all the smoke from all the fires on the West Coast, and it's all just settled down in our little
Valley.
valleys surrounded by mountains.
And we
so-
have our very own
Yeah.
fire at Eureka, too, just to add to it, right?
Oh, awesome. Like, yeah, a whole bunch of hay caught on fire.
Oh, but how was it? Was it man-made?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I studied the paranormal. I didn't really study up on my
You
fire.
didn't study up in the fire. That's great.
She didn't check out the Weather and Fire channel.
Anyway,
So we went out to Santaquin, which Utah County, getting us out there, and I kind of really liked this one. Family just buying a house, starting to notice a few things moving, light switches going off and on.
doors
I kinda
opening and
liked it.
closing. Almost kind of your quintessential, I think my house is haunted stuff.
Right.
And the thing that I think is interesting is the gal whose house we went to, we've actually been to her homes before.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
what she said.
she's sensitive because she can tell things are there. But she called us out this time because her husband was feeling things, not her.
Right, and he actually was standing in the kitchen and watched the cabinet open. And it has Velcro on it.
And it sounds like she half didn't believe him because the whole time we were there, he was kind of gloating. I told you.
Right.
It was cute. They were cute.
Yeah, that was nice. I liked that one. So, really, that one, the lady had just passed away last fall.
That had lived in the
That
home
had
previously.
lived, and her husband had built the home. So, her dream home, she didn't really want to leave it. And so she was kind of hanging out, messing with him a little bit.
And
Well-
this new couple was renovating, is that correct?
Yeah, they were doing some remodeling, and she did not like it. She liked it just how it was.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone.
And not that it was bad, but it was time to update the carpet kind of thing.
Yep.
It wasn't like they were knocking down walls or anything. It was just really basic carpet and paint.
And if I remember right, they had already knocked down a wall, the original owners, and to open it up, give it that more open concept feel.
Oh.
So I guess it's just that she wasn't knocking down walls, or she wasn't removing the carpet.
I see. Well,
So then we found a 14-year-old male spirit
oh, that's right.
hanging out in the 14-year-old real-life girls' room.
Well, if I'm a 14-year-old spirit, that's probably where I'm going to be hanging out.
Me too. Not gonna lie.
So
We're guys.
Yeah, Dad was not very happy about that.
No.
Apparently, this young gentleman's spirit was not doing anything inappropriate, so he says. But we had him leave too.
Right. And we were able to capture him on the SLS.
Uh-huh.
So we've got some video of that. And talked to him with dowsing rods. And he was talking through the K2 and the Ghost Pro.
He started out talking through those really well, and then he got to where, I don't know, he just got kind of 14-year-old boyish. You could just start to tell that
He was done.
he was a little bit of a brat after a while. I'm sorry.
He had his first ghost crush
I know.
as a ghost.
Cute.
Oh.
And then you told him to go away and he
Aw.
got sad.
Right.
You grounded him.
No, he was just doing kind of that 14-year-old boy messing with you and not really telling you the truth, but then he would tell you the truth. And, I mean, I wasn't getting straight answers after a handful of questions. So that's when
Yeah.
it's like, nope, we're pulling out the dowsing rods. We'll get some straight stuff going on here.
So we got him crossed. We got the lady crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And then went out in the backyard, found that there was a portal. Just left that alone.
Little portal, positive. The spirit energy there said just leave it open.
The dogs like to sit there and bark at it. So,
Just a random spot.
Yeah, about the size of a golf ball. Wasn't very big.
That's a small spot.
and didn't we have a spirit? There was a spirit of a dog or
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a dog spirit out there.
yeah, and likes to mess with their dogs.
Yeah. So it was pretty tame as far as residentials go, but it was interesting.
Yeah, it was fun.
No
It was fun.
demons.
Nope.
No demons, just type 1s. No, nothing type 3-ish.
Nothing crazy.
Sad day when there's no demons.
No type 3-ish.
Alrighty. So
Speaking of bucket lists, I've got a bucket list item today. It's my turn for bucket list, and I want to go to the gates of hell.
well, all right.
I don't know if we talked about this
Good luck
yet.
there.
Yeah, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff in my life to get there.
I was gonna say, that's pretty easy to get there if I
I'm not going with you.
You should. It'll be fun.
No.
lock the door behind you and
I don't
let
like-
me in.
There's a big crater called the Darvaza gas crater in Turkmenistan. It is, get your dimensions here. It's about 226 feet in diameter. It's 98 feet deep, and it's a natural gas. There's a natural gas, basically, reservoir underneath it. This crater collapsed down, and it was leaking methane gas. This happened in 1971. And they were worried about the fumes from the methane gas going over, so they said, oh, well, let's light this shit on fire. So,
Hey, that's a great idea.
so they
It's
lit
still
this,
burning?
Yeah, they lit this giant crater on fire in Turkmenistan. The Soviet Union did this back in the 70s. And they're like, it'll burn out in a couple weeks. No big deal.
50
It has
years
been
later.
50 years, and it is still burning. A hole that is 200 feet across and 100 feet deep is just continuously burning for 50 years.
That was a great idea.
And so, yeah.
And that's where you want to go.
yeah, well, I
Great
figure,
idea.
You know?
Did they try squirting water on
That's
it?
right. Yeah, come on, guys. Fire extinguishers? I don't know. But, it's in Turkmenistan. I lived in Bashkortostan, which is a Russian republic, right above all the Stan countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and I thought that would be an interesting place to go. And for like years and years, they're like, no, nothing to see here, guys. They try to cover up
Now
this
it's a tourist
giant
attraction.
burning hole, and they were like, it's pretty cool, actually.
We can make some
So-
dollars.
So they're like, what can we call it? We're going to call it the Gates to Hell. And we're going to sell tickets, and it's going to be big. So
Okay, so question: what does Stan mean?
it just basically means like land.
Okay, well that's
Kazakhstan,
boring. Okay, I thought it was going to
Turkmenistan.
be something cool.
So how
Yeah.
close can you get to it?
You can like go up and actually do tours to go see it. I mean, I don't know exactly how
I
far
mean,
it
can you
is,
like
but
can you stand on the ledge and look over and get your
I think
eyelashes
so.
singed?
Yeah, I don't know if it's singe worthy. I know National Geographic did a little documentary on it not too long ago, so you could probably find that.
The first visual I got was somebody
But-
trying to get a selfie and just kind of like,
You know someone's going to do that if they haven't already.
Oh yeah.
right?
And fall in.
Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go. I'm
And
gonna
put
have to
it on
like
TikTok.
Google Gates to Hell selfies and see.
And see if someone
shows
has.
up. But yes, if y'all are interested, it is in the Darvaza region in Turkmenistan.
Right by the little red dot.
It's that little red dot
Awesome.
on the map. So that is my bucket list item. I'm gonna
Gates
go to
of
the
Hell.
Gates of Hell.
Cool.
Alone.
Oh sure, we'll go see James Dean, but nobody wants to go to hell.
I know. See how we are.
Okay, so we've got my paranormal experience. What do we call this part of it?
Personal experiences.
Hey, this is my paranormal personal experience.
We probably should come up with a cooler name.
The paranormal personal experiences.
That's not any better.
In the beginning.
Okay, I was thinking of a couple of paranormal experiences that I had. One of them is kind of UFO related, and I've talked about it a little bit before on here, but it's been a while. In the probably the 1980s, we live in a valley, and there's a large mountain on the north side of it, and I was out working in the garden one evening in the summer, and I saw something very dark and fast go clear across the mountain in a very, very short amount of time. It was a flying aircraft of some kind, and there was no sound associated with it. and we lived within, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles of the actual mountain itself. So it wasn't like it was just so far away you couldn't hear it. I've seen and heard, jets and aircraft flying, in front of the mountain and everything, and never anything that transited the mountain nearly as quickly as this did, or as silently. So that was a paranormal experience for me. I can't. It's not something I can't explain, and it's not something that I've been able to go, and it wasn't, it was just out of the normal, and it literally, when we kind of talk paranormal, it's something that I couldn't explain or figure out. And I did see one time, coming back from California, we went down into a ravine on I-15, an area that was lower, and it was by Meade Air Force Base, and this was back in the 1980s again. And I saw some of the stealth fighters before they were known, and I recognized them as planes. It's one of those things. They were loud. They were things. It's like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before, but I didn't place them as a UFO or unidentified or something that I couldn't comprehend or put together. But I knew that was okay. This is experimental,
Right, you knew it was a
planes.
military.
This is a military plane, because we were in the area between Area 51 and Air Force bases and different areas in the training areas. So, I have a different feeling between those two experiences, even though they were both, common and similar in a way. But the plane transiting, or the object transiting in front of the mountain, was a different, oh, that's strange. Where the other was, well, oh, that's cool.
Right.
So our paranormal junk drawer, if you remember the one that we just were laughing so hard it took forever to get through it, this one's a little more serious, and it's important. It's actually about a paranormal investigator that falls, and she's injured, and during a ghost hunt, and she's actually taken to a hospital. It's in Buffalo, New York, at a place called the Buffalo Central Terminal, and it's known locally to be a paranormal hotspot. And she fell about 15 to 20 feet at this landmark, and she, was searching for ghosts like we do, right? You're walking around with your cameras, and and oftentimes you're looking at instruments, not so much your feet or what's around you. A 35-year-old woman, unnamed, and this terminal is a century old, and it's reported that she fell through a substation roof. She was taken to a local hospital, treated for several injuries. It doesn't go into a whole lot of detail, and her current condition is not known, so we don't know how
Was she by herself?
substantial. No, there was a man with her. He was not injured, but it was reported by a local NBC station that they were hunting without permission in the historic structure.
That was my next question.
Mm-hmm. And so just, whether you're on a ghost hunting team or just doing it on your own, make sure you've got permission. That we've been to several places where the people will say, you've got run of the building, but don't go here. When we went to Rollins Penitentiary, they said they usually didn't let people upstairs. They did let us up if we went in small groups. And they said the reason we don't let people up here is because there's a few places in the floor you could fall through. And so they knew that. And so they said, don't stand right there. And so we didn't.
And those floors where you were falling through was like 20 feet. They weren't just standard. As I remember the Rollins prison where those things were done, it was not a standard like 10 foot or 12 foot. It was like a 20-foot drop.
Right.
Someone's
and so, just because there are places like that doesn't mean you can't investigate them, but they just want to have someone there, to say, you go around this way or go around that way, don't go through there, or you'll plunge to your death or whatever. But it's really important that when you go places that you get permission from the owners, the property owners.
These old buildings are inherently dangerous because many of them are abandoned or dilapidated, and the owners are going to know a whole lot more about that place than you.
And don't investigate alone. because in a situation like that, you fall, you get hurt. It doesn't even have to be critical. You could just get to a point where you couldn't get out.
Yeah,
There's
you're
nobody
by
there, and
yourself.
you could die of exposure just because you can't get out on something that would be treatable if anybody knew where you were at and could come get you, or you could, somebody could help.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely,
So-
definitely go in groups.
Yeah. So when we investigate, investigating is fun. It's fun to try to get evidence. It's fun to be out with your friends. It's fun to try to figure out all the mysteries that paranormal is. But please do it safely. Please, please, please.
Right? Even when we were at Benson Grist Mill, when we were walking across, there was a couple of places where they had patched the flooring that it was still breaking through. Yeah. And it kind of catches you going, oh, shit.
I gotta be
Yeah,
careful.
that's like a 3-4 story grist mill. It
Yeah.
can be a long way down to the bottom.
It
Yeah,
could
even there was one of the bridges that was outside. You
Yeah.
would have just plunged into a mosquito-infested swamp, but that was a little dicey.
Yeah, it was. There was
And-
a few places.
And if you're out there when it's light, not a problem. You can see this. But when it's dark,
Yeah, and you're staring at your night vision camera because that's the only thing you have.
yeah.
Yeah.
A whole different
You can
animal,
see it happen.
for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Well, thanks for listening. Last but not least, get your Supernatural Hour swag at advancedparanormal.com. We have a lot of items for sale, t-shirts and mugs and tapestries and stickers, you name it. I still need to bring my mug. It's been months and months and months.
You talk about it every week.
I know. I
if,
use
if
it.
I hadn't seen it, I would wonder
about
if you
to
were
say.
telling me the truth.
I use it frequently at home. I just don't bring it here to the attic of despair. I need to.
Well, now that I have my tapestry, I need to come up with
Something else?
maybe a notebook.
Ooh,
We have notebooks too.
there you go.
It's not as fun to say as tapestry. Maybe I need to call it a ledger. Ooh,
Oh, a ledger. I like it.
there
Get
we
a
go.
ledger.
I'm going to get a ledger.
Also, advancedparanormal.com. You can find our own personal merchandise. We've got anything from lip balm to cleansing
And I helped make the
kits.
lip balm.
She did. She did. We have that in sage and we have that in lavender. Or did we just do that one in sage?
I think we just did
You
that one in
made it.
sage.
All right. We got rollers in sage and lavender.
And the lavender smells amazing.
Right? Local lavender. So support your local. Check out our swag shop.
I want to give a little shout out. I should have done this at the beginning of the podcast, but I neglected to do so. When we were at Wheeler Farm, we invited our friends from Bear River Paranormal to come out, and they are just a great bunch of people. We're really glad they were able to
They
come
were
out
really
with
nice.
us. They're super nice. We love them. So a little shout out to Shane and his crew. That was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out.
And then just another little shout out to some of the friends of Advanced Paranormal and Supernatural Hour, Barbary Coast. They no longer have their amazing pretzel, but they still have some amazing food. So go hit them up, especially on a Thursday night for their little flat iron steak. Dalton's and Oteo's restaurants in Utah County. We're actually going to be going back to Dalton's sooner than later, so watch for that. Utah Freeze Dried for Pets. They've got some amazing pet nutrition items for your dog.
And a great groomer.
She's amazing.
It's just what I hear.
Rumors abound.
Yeah, from the people that you're doing the work for.
We have Castles Nature Studio, and yes, that is our very own castle, for off-road backcountry adventure rally. And if you're looking to do some jeeping or some service projects, they are your group because they do a lot of service projects.
So what's your TikTok count?
We are one short of 1,300, and the last time we recorded, we didn't quite have 1,000.
Yeah.
So
And
Growing.
where are we at? What did you say?
about 1,300.
1,300. Wow.
We're in the safe. We can do live
I like that.
because you have to have 1,000 to go live. And so when we had 1,002, I was like, if I have 3 people that decide not to follow
All
us
right.
anymore,
I'll get a TikTok account and be that one person.
lives
Get
are
us to
gone.
1,300.
As we all stare at Doc.
One person, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I have mine. I have 6 followers. It's hard. It's hard. So
6.
kudos to Ravyn. Yeah.
1,300. It's
'cause
pretty
I have
impressive.
She's doing really, really
Because
well.
I have the mental capacity of a 13-year-old, apparently.
How am I younger than all of you, but the oldest when it comes to social media engagement here?
Maybe because you're
You
like
use
a
your brain
respectable
for
adult.
greater things.
Just saying. I don't have any of this
You,
stuff.
you spent the last 10 years doing doctor stuff, not
maybe.
social media.
Oh, no, I lied. I'm sorry.
Not merchandising.
We have 1,276 followers.
24 people. Then. Okay.
So you got to sign up 24 times.
But here's
Gotta
what
make
you do.
24 accounts.
Before you check people out, so part of the checking out process is they have to log
On the discharge instructions,
Yes.
just staple it on there. It's a good idea.
Yeah, you can't leave the ER
I
until.
like it.
I'm not sure my employer would love it.
Add my hashtag.
Feel free to
I think-
subscribe to this
I
TikTok
think
page.
no, they have to before they can leave.
It's
You want to
mandatory.
leave? You got to here.
That's right. Clock's ticking too.
Exactly. I like that idea. I'm going with that.
All right.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. I'm not really going to implement that at my business, but you implement that at yours.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, stay spooky, my haunty friends.
I love you, Nicholas.
Have a good one.
Hey, good night.
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.